Will the House come to order? Mr. Clerk?
Aloha and good morning. Today's invocation will be delivered by Representative Micah P.K. Ayu. Will the members who wish to participate please rise?
Members, please stay seated. No one told me that the first time to let you guys be seated, so I can say that this time. I was just reflecting on the last 50 or so days that we were here, and I had to give the first invocation. And for this last invocation, wrapping up on the session, I just want to leave you guys with one quick joke. What is the best thing about teamwork? There's always someone you can blame. Let's just remember that as we head to conference and the end of the session. Thank you all.
Thank you, Representative Ayu. Let's move on to item 1. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Ayu? Mr. Alcos? Ms. Amato?
Excuse.
Ms. Bellotti? Mr. Chun? Ms. Cochran? Mr. Evslin? Mr. Ganadin? Mr. Garcia? Mr. Garrett? Mr. Gates? Mr. Hashem? Mr. Hashimoto? Mr. Holt? Ms. Hussey Burdick? Ms. Ichiyama? Ms. Kahaloa? Ms. Capella?
Excuse.
Mr. Kila? Ms. Kitagawa? Mr. Kobayashi? Mr. Kong? Ms. Lachika? Ms. Lamosao? Ms. Lowen?
Excuse.
Ms. Martin? Ms. Martinez? Mr. Matayoshi? Ms. Matsumoto? Mr. Mizuno? Ms. Morikawa? Ms. Nakamura? Mr. Nakashima?
Excuse.
Mr. Nishimoto?
Excuse.
Mr. Onishi? Ms. Peruso? Mr. Pirik? Ms. Poepoe? Mr. Quinlan? Mr. Saiki? Mr. Sayama? Ms. Souza? Mr. Takayama? Ms. Takenouchi? Mr. Tam? Mr. Tarnas? Mr. Todd?
Excuse.
Mr. Ward?
Excuse.
Mr. Woodson?
Excuse.
Mr. Yamashita? Mr. Speaker.
Present.
Mr. Speaker, 43 members are present, 8 are excused.
Mr. Clerk, please mark the presence of Representative Amato. Item 2, reading of the journal. And please mark the presence of Representative Todd. Item 2, reading of the journal. Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, may this matter be deferred.
So ordered. Item 3, Mr. Clerk, are there any messages from the Governor?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, we're in receipt of Governor's message number 7, informing the House that agreement was made with the Hawaii Firefighters Association's Collective Bargaining Unit 11 for the reopener for Employer Union Trust Fund contribution amounts on April 12, 2023, and transmitting a proposed measure to fund the award. May this matter be received and filed.
So ordered. Item 4, Mr. Clerk, are there any Senate communications?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, if you and the members will turn your attention to the addendum to today's order of the day. We are in receipt of communications returning the noted House concurrent resolutions, all having been adopted in the Senate. We are in further receipt of a communication informing the House that the Senate has disagreed to the amendments proposed by the House to the noted Senate concurrent resolutions. We are in further receipt of a communication informing the House that the Senate has reconsidered action in disagreeing to the amendments proposed by the House, has moved to agree, and pass the noted Senate bill on final reading. Finally, we are in receipt of communications informing the House that the Senate has appointed conferees to the noted House and Senate bills.
Members, are there any introductions? No further introductions. We're going to move on to item 5, reports of standing committees. Representative Nakamura.
Mr. Speaker, I move to adopt Standing Committee Report number 2234 as listed on page 1, and that the accompanying Senate concurrent resolution be adopted.
Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Any discussion on STANCOM Report 2234? The chair will call a voice vote. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion is carried. Item 6, members, are there any announcements? With no announcements, Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I move that this House stand adjourned until 11:30 a.m. tomorrow.
Representative Garcia.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion is carried. The House stands adjourned until 11:30 a.m. tomorrow.